Hello everyone, my name is Wangdi and today I'm going to present the key thinker Jack Mezzaro. Have you ever experienced a moment that made you completely question what you believe to be true? This kind of moment is what Jack Mezzaro described as a disorienting dilemma, and it is the starting point of transformative learning. Transformative learning theory focuses on how adults do not simply acquire knowledge, but instead change their perspective, belief, and way of thinking. In this presentation, I will explain the origin of the theory, its key ideas, its relevance, and also its limitations. The origin and context of Jack Mezzaro's transformative learning theory. In the late 20th century, women and adults returned to higher educations. So this theory emerged during a period of a significant social change, particularly movements related to civil rights and gender equality. During this time, individuals began questioning social norms, power structures, and their own assumptions. Mezzaro's work was influenced by Paulo Freire and Julian Habermas, where Freire emphasized the idea of critical consciousness, where learners become aware of social realities and inequalities through dialogue. Habermas contributed the concept of communicative action, highlighting the importance of rational discussions in reaching understanding. However, Mezzaro shifted these ideas towards the individual level, focusing on how personal meaning and perspectives are transformed through learning. The key ideas. The theory is built around a process of transformation that begins with disorienting dilemma, an experience that challenge an individual's existing belief. This leads to critical reflection, where individuals examine their assumptions and questions why they think in a certain way. Next is dialogue, or what Mezzaros call rational discourse, where individuals engage with others to explore different viewpoints. Through this process, learners revise their perspective and develop more inclusive and open way of thinking. Importantly, this is not a quick process. It is a gradual and requires deep reflection. Why it mattered then? At the time Mezzaro developed this theory, education systems were largely focused on transmitting knowledge rather than encouraging critical thinking. Adult learners' experiences were often ignored, even though they brought valuable insight into the learning process. Transformative learning addresses this gap by recognizing the importance of experience, encouraging critical reflection for social change, supporting the increasing number of adults returning to education. This made education more relevant, especially in a rapidly changing society. How it is relevant today. Transformative learning. Today, transformative learning is even more relevant. We live in a world where information is constantly changing and the individuals are exposed to diverse perspectives. People regularly encounter situations that challenge their beliefs, whether through media, education, or personal experiences. Transformative learning helps individuals adapt to change, develop critical thinking skills, understand different perspectives, This is essential in today's global and complex society. My stance. Personally, I strongly support transformative learning theory because it encourages critical thinking, questioning assumptions, and deep understanding. It also promotes student-centered learning and supports the idea of lifelong learning. Most importantly, it values learners' experiences, making education more meaningful. Transformative learning is an approach to education that focuses on developing critical thinking, encouraging learners to question assumptions, and promoting deep understanding. Instead of passively receiving information, students actively reflect on their beliefs and experiences, allowing them to form more meaningful and lasting knowledge. This approach also supports student-centered learning, where learners take ownership of their educational journey. By valuing individual experiences, transformative learning makes education more relevant and engaging. Additionally, it fosters lifelong learning by equipping individuals with the skills and mindsets needed to continuously adapt and grow. Overall, transformative learning is important because it not only enhances what students learn, but also transforms how they think, preparing them for real-world challenges and personal development. In my view, this approach aligns with the purpose of education, which is not only to inform but also to transform individuals intellectually and personally. Lastly, let's look to Maslow's legacy. Maslow's theory has had a lasting impact on adult education and continues to influence teaching practices today. It has contributed to the development of student-centered learning, reflective practices, lifelong learning approaches. His work emphasizes that learning is an ongoing process of re-evaluating and reconstructing meaning, which remains highly relevant in modern education. Despite its strength, the theory has been criticized. One major limitation is its strong focus on rational reflection, which may overlook the role of emotion, culture, and social context in learning. Critics such as Collard and Lowe argue that transformation is not always a logical process. It can also be influenced by feeling and social relationships. This suggests that while the theory is valuable, it may not fully capture the complexity of how people actually learn and change. This leads to an important question. Do modern education systems truly transform how individuals think, or do they mainly focus on delivering knowledge? So finally, this question encourages us to reflect on our own learning experiences and the purpose of education. And finally, this is my reference, and thank you to all